Allow me to introduce the Bestiary boy. Using the Runescape wiki as our guide, we are going to be taking on all monsters that Runescape has to offer, no matter how small or how large. Welcome to Besting the Bestiary. In the last episode of Besting the Bestiary, we kicked things off at combat bracket 86, firing up with the fire giants. We had a superior monster grind, and we took out the werewolves in the moonlight. And the episode finished up with me giving you guys a breakdown of some of the larger grinds that we've got coming up in the near future, so make sure to check that out if you're interested. But for now, enjoy the video. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Besting the Bestiary. It's time for combat bracket 89. We're back here in the Fremennik Slayer Cave to take on a Turoth, the biggest of the big boy Turoth, level 89. And down it goes. Welcome back to the Underground Pass. I skipped getting here because, you've seen it before, but we're here to take on the big spider boy, Kalrag, who is down here in the bottom section. We just have to do some slight progression into the quest. Just got to talk to the dwarves and then get this doll thing, and then we can head over to Kalrag and fight him. Alright, got the doll. That's all we need to do. Now on to Kalrag. Here he is in this little cove of spiders. Down he goes. Let's just walk away slowly. Another small step towards the Underground Pass completion. We'll be back in a few levels. We get to unlock another superior Slayer monster yet again. This time it is the Cockatrice, the superior Cockatrice. Who would have guessed? Anyways, so we're here for a good time and hopefully not a long time with Mazkina here, since he does assign Cockatrice and we can take on his whole task list so we can get our task streak going yet again. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, so I was talking to this beast in the friends chat here, and it turns out that I can actually make bracelets of slaughter. So I didn't think I'd be able to get topaz at all, and so I never ended up looking. So I had a look, and it turns out I can just thieve these rich chests in Dorgish Khan, because I happened to go dry so long ago on that blue leather to get 78 thieving, which is the exact level I need, and it's a 1 in 15 chance to get an uncut red topaz. So I'm going to be making some bracelets of slaughter here and there. Also join the friends chat if you want, it's just Bestiary boy in the friends chat, and hang out if you want. Anyways, back to what I assume is a montage. There it is. About bloody time the Cockatrice showed up. Here's our stats. We're up to 69 Slayer already, and we've gotten heaps of melee levels, even starting up on the defense as well. Anyways, let's kill it before it despawns or something stupid happens. And there we go, and our consolation prize, Mystic Light Boots. Okay, so that took way longer than it needed to and what I expected. It has been between 1 and 2 weeks just specifically going for this Cockatrice, which, I guess is good for our, overarching goal of Slayer, but I just kind of wanted to get this section done at the same time, Anyways, I want to finish the task as per usual, and then I'll get to see what the task streak finished at, because I'm pretty sure it's almost 200 now. And yes, we ended up with 193 total tasks completed, and now we need to go to the bank and look at some of the loot that we got overall. Alright, so as you can see here, we've got a pretty decent collection of clues. Obviously the bulk here is in the beginners. Now unfortunately, with the information from the last episode where I looked ahead, I have decided now that I'm not going to open any more clues that aren't beginners, because the reason being is I am going to need to get master clues a bit later down the track, and I cannot get them from beginners, but I can from the others. So we're just going to open the beginners here now. Hopefully we get something cool, and we're going to leave the others. I'll actually check the collection log for the beginners just so we can see where we're at. Alright, here we are, 138 beginners done, 7 out of 16 total items from here as well. Obviously they're not that amazing items, I mean, let's be real, but hey, it's something. Let's open them. Oh, shoulder parrot. That is new. That is new. Oh, look at him. Nice little boy up there. Hey, another new item. Mole slippers. Probably one of the highest sought after items in the beginners. And demon feet, but we already had those ones. Alright, so that is done for the beginners. A decent haul, 160 total done now. Let's move on to the next monster. We are now taking on another Slayer monster, but at least I do not need a task for this one. We've just got a Twisted Banshee, which is just the juiced up version of the regular Banshee which you find in the Slayer Tower. So we're just going to jump down into the catacombs of Kurend here and get to them. Here we are, time to kill one of these spooky boys. And down it goes. These guys drop a lot of herbs too, so it may be a good place to come later on down the line if we need. Our adventures in Combat 89 are now finished. It took a bit longer than I anticipated, a fair bit longer actually, with that bloody superior cockatrice fiasco, but we did it. So now let's take a look at what is left. We've got an Aviancy, and this one is only found in the regular God Wars dungeon. Following that, there is a Corrupted Scorpion, which is locked until we get to Prif, and lastly a Ravager, which is a pest control monster. We're starting off Combat 90 with a Dagonoth, the last of the Waterbirth Island variants, I do believe. They're in the first main section here, so I've just, got to duck in there and smack one up. A nice easy start. We've got a dangerous one up next actually. We're going to the Rev Caves to take on a Revenant Hellhound. So now, just very recently actually, the Rev Caves were updated, and while I didn't fully read the patch notes, I do believe what they did was just doubled up the amount of revs and changed the amount of times that a rev can heal. But because there have been changes, I am not sure how busy the actual Rev Caves are now, so hopefully we don't get PK'd while trying to do this. I don't know. And just like that, we survive another spooky trip to the wilderness. Just had to hop a few times to avoid sight, but other than that, no dramas. Also, this Hellhound died a lot easier than the Cyclops. I'm not sure if that was due to the Revenant changes specifically, because when I killed the Revenant Cyclops, the changes hadn't happened, or it could just be my RNG with hits and their healing, I don't know. We get to spend a little bit of time in the fight caves now. We're taking on the Rangers in the waves, or the Toxzil if we're getting technical on their names. So wave 7 is where the first Ranger comes in, but I do need to stay into wave 14 to get the spawn point color variant kill. We're going into the waves like it's a regular monster. I don't think I'll have a lot of trouble getting to wave 14 with just, my crappy gear and supplies, but we'll see. One of these days I am going to start having to actually prepare a bit to get through this, but that's not for a long while because the melee is combat 180 anyways. Alright, so we've got the first Ranger coming in, and now we just need to make it to wave 14. Alright, not too many dramas actually making here, so that's good. Now to take out the lighter coloured Ranger. And down he goes. We will be back for the others later on. There's another journey into the dream to take out the third form of the witch's experiment, which is the bear form. Like last time, we go in and hope we get the first form experiment in the first wave, and then we work through it. Else we have to come out and pay to go in again. Last time it took about 3 or 4 attempts. Let's see what happens this time. Place your bets. This is a pretty common occurrence these days, especially as I get into higher combat levels. Just telling me, why am I wearing rune, etc, etc. But he was nice about it at least, asked if I streamed, but yeah. Anyways, let's find this experiment. Round 1, damn. Round 2, oh, there we go. Oh, we actually got 2 of them. Alright, let's get this bear. And here it is, Big Bear down. The next form is the wolf at 103 combat. We're down here by the border of the Karazi jungle to try to kill a jungle savage. I have been able to kill other things in there, and just by the looks of it, I should be able to reach the jungle savage if they walk close enough to this little ledge thing here. So let's do it. Oh yeah, that's easy. He came straight up for it actually. Down he goes. Our humble start to Combat 90 has come to a halt very quickly. We've got a fair few things to go still left here, but some of them we'll be able to take out soon, some of them will be a little bit longer of a wait. So we've got the Elf Archer variants 1 and 2, and the Ironworth Archer female and male. And for these guys, I have written down the certain quests in the tooltips that they are associated with, but I may be able to access some sooner than I thought because I am entering the Elf lands very soon. I'm unsure how far the navigation of the place allows me to go without furthering any of these quest lines, but I'll see when I get there. because Izafta has a lot of dense jungle, and I think you need to progress into the quest so it may lock a few of these monsters out. There's the Sea Snake Young, which unlocks when we get into Miscellanea. We have a Shifter as well, which is a pest control monster. The Snakeling Magic and Melee, they cannot be killed because we have to fight Zulra for them to spawn. We've got a Vampire Juvenile as well, we're getting close to that milestone. And finally, a Tarn's Lair Zombie is remaining, also quite close to that milestone. Our adventures begin taking on Cracker and Peahat, which sit just up there at the entrance to the Death Plateau. They both have a max hit of 23, so I'm not sure how we'll go face tanking them, but it should probably be fine. We'll find out in a second. Alrighty, here we are. Cracker and Peahat are right here, so we'll take Cracker first since he's closer. And now for Peahat. Down he goes. Oh, okay. Big damage when they do hit, but you know, they don't hit too often, so we're out. Next up, we're actually going to progress all the way up to a quest boss, but not fully kill it, unfortunately. We have Nazastarul in zombie form, which is the first form of the 3 for the Shiley Village quest boss. And we actually also get to take up the second form as well, since that one is 68 combat, but we can't take the final form out. I haven't gone too far in the quest, to be honest, so I'm just gonna meet you at the boss section. Alright, here we are. Remember, form 1 and 2, and then we dip. Down the first form goes. Now it's the skeleton version. He has a weird animation. Alright, with the second form down, the ghost version spawns, but we cannot kill him, and so we come back later. Another round of the Ixthalarin's Little Helper quest, and this one will actually be the last time that we do the quest because we're about to finish it. The next monster is the Possessed Priest, which is the final monster to kill, and as such, you know, we get to finish the quest. So I'll meet you at the fight. Alright, time to take out this Possessed Priest. Okay, alright, or not. Let me try that jump again. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, that was no problem at all. So now we'll just finish the quest up. There it is, a bit of thieving, agi and wood cutting experience, and a cat speak helmet as well. Nothing really to write home about, but it is another quest under our belt. Let's move on. I hope you like quests because we've got another one to do as well now. And this one unlocks a little bit of extra spice for us. It's time for the underground pass. Again. But this time we mean business. The last 3 monsters of the quest are being taken out and the quest is being completed finally. And I'll talk about what that also unlocks for us when we make it to that point. I'll save you the theatrics of watching me get through this like usual. I'll just meet you at the monsters. We have our demon lads right over there. The last one is in the back somewhere over in that direction. And we're just going to do what we do best and then take their drops. Holtheon will be up first. And we shall follow it up with Doomion. And do not forget about Othanian. Alright, so let me go finish up the loose ends of the quest and I'll meet you at the end. It is big quest finishing time almost. We just need to enter the room here and then basically drop off this doll into the well. I won't mess around with it, I'll just go in and then, you know, we're done pretty much. Oh yeah, there's Iben's Star for starters. I literally forgot that I'd be getting that. So that is nice actually. We have to do a couple more little chats real quick before ending the quest, but then I'll show you the other unlocks that we can get. Bam! Okay, 3k agi and attack experience and the Iben staff as well. Most importantly though, the underground pass is completed and this is what I was talking about, the Regicide quest. This will allow us to actually access the Elflands and then, you know, with that we have a few monsters to search for. So I'll prepare a little bit, I'll meet you over there. Here we are in the beautiful land of Isafdar. Okay, so this NPC arrived for the quest, and I can progress a little bit into it, but pretty shortly into the quest you have to kill a Tyrus guard, and I'll talk more about that after I get through this dialogue, maybe a little bit later. Yeah, for the moment I am just going to try to find the monsters from the previous combat brackets without doing any of the quest, and if I can't get to them all then I'll quickly talk about the quest, because there is a small predicament with it that I have, but for now we're going to get a blast from the past with some old NPCs. Our blast from the past starts us out at combat bracket 2. We're taking out these pesky rabbits. There are 3 variants of these rabbits and honestly it is a little bit hard to tell the difference, but all 3 variants are here. You'll have to just look a bit closely I guess. And that is all 3 down. Feels good to return to such an old combat bracket. Nowhere near done in combat bracket 2 though. I wanted to do things in order, but I ran into these guys first, so I have found our level 88 Direwolf. Down it goes. And a fun little fact is that the only thing left in Combat 88 is a pest control monster. Oh, sick. Okay, just after running past those wolves, we actually get to take out 3 more monsters in one area. So we've got all these grizzly bears. There's a level 33 cub, a level 36 cub, and a level 42 normal grizzly bear to take out. First is the level 33 bear cub. The second one is going to be the level 36, and I don't know why the level 36 cub is so much smaller than the 33 combat one. Doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever. And we round it out with the level 42 grizzly bear. Alright, so I'm now going to progress just a small amount into the quest because I want to check out the Ioearth camp just for future reference and whatnot, but I'll explain the problem I have when I get there. Oh, okay, cool. This is also another good reason that I had to come here, because we can fight the Ioearth archers as well from combat bracket 90 that you would have seen probably a few minutes ago in the video, I would imagine at this point. However, I did just have a look around and there is only male Ioearth archers here, and the only other location listed on the wiki for Ioearth archers is at this camp. But there is a section for during the Song of the Elves, so maybe during that quest, you know, some of the males went out and then, you know, some of the females came in to replace them. I won't know until then, so let's just knock out the male Ioearth archers from the list. Beautiful, and the female ones we'll find at some point later on, I'm sure. Okay, so as I've said a few times now, I'm actually not going to go further in the quest. So there is a Tyrus guard that spawns as part of the quest, but it's actually slightly different to regular Tyrus guards because this one does not have a 2 attack range, and it should, but the normal Tyrus guards do have a 2 attack range. Technically, you don't have to kill this first Tyrus guard, the special one. When he spawns, you can run away and he'll despawn, and then you can kill a different one later in the actual Tyrus camp, but from the looks of it, you only get 1 chance to kill this specific Tyrus guard. This doesn't appear on the Bestiary list as a separate entity like a lot of things have, so technically I guess I could avoid it, but I have added other monsters that haven't been on the list before. For example, the unicorn in the underground pass that you smush with the rock. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to progress to where the guard can be spawned because I want to kill it and add it as a new variant. However, you know, if you guys don't care about this, I could just skip over it and then not add it in and then finish anything else I can further in the next episode. Honestly, I'm not sure if I even gain any extra access to monsters, so this may be a pointless thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. Anyways, let's move on. Our next monster in combat bracket 90 is a construction monster. We need 90 construction to build a troll guard in our POH. So now we are currently at 86 construction from the last grind, and I just checked how much construction experience we have in the bank. So with our current planks situation, we only have enough to get us to level 87. However, luckily I did do some wood cutting for a few episodes while I was editing, like I said I would, and we've got 11.6k oak logs that we can turn into planks. Now I've already ran the numbers, and to turn all of these logs into planks, I need 2.9 million gold pieces. The twist to this is all of those will get me to 92, so I don't need to turn them all into planks right now. The amount that we actually need to turn into planks is 5,350 logs into planks, costing us 1 elite million or 1.337 mil. I did not actually make that up, that is actually how much it'll be. Now let's look at our cash stack. Yeah, so we've got enough money, but things are not all peachy because the troll costs $1 million dues to build itself, which means that we also need to make some money anyways. Okay, so I consulted the wiki and I have found a few money makers that are relevant to me. So we'll start with, you know, killing Ogress warriors or the shamans, which I mentioned a few episodes ago. Turns out the Ogress warriors are only 85k an hour and the shamans are a bit better with 138k an hour. We could go back to collecting steel plate bodies, which is apparently on average 240k profit an hour. There's the agility pyramid also, and apparently with 70 agility, which I do have, I should be able to make at least 200k an hour, which is a little bit less, but it is technically more reliable than collecting steel plate bodies. And I've found something that could actually be a little bit spicy, which I forgot about in a general sense, but I could try my hand at going to the Wilderness God Wars dungeon and getting ecumenical keys to High Alk. There is no money making guide in the wiki that says how much you make an hour, a volatile option because I could die to PKs or something like that, and it's also an RNG drop. And lastly, I could attempt LMS for rune arrows to Alk or something like that, but the only PKing experience I have is about 2 hours in the Willy back in 2008 where I got stomped and lost my DDS and never went back. So I feel like that isn't viable. Alright, so I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna go to the Wilderness God Wars dungeon, see how lucky I can get with these ecumenical keys. If I get PK'd a lot or something, I will try steel plate bodies, or I will try the agility pyramid. After we make a bit of money, I'll make the planks. Okay, so it's ended up being about 3 or 4 hours in total. I'm not 100% sure because I slept in between. And we got 18 keys in total that I've already alked. I lost one because I died. Not from being PK'd, I actually entered the Wildy God Wars dungeon without my God Wars items on, and then I clicked a goblin and looked away, and then I looked back as I died and saw the ecumenical key on the ground. But as you can see, we've gained 1 mil to actually build the troll. But honestly, this seems like a pretty bonkers money making method for me, with pretty much no real requirements except for having some God Wars items. So I'm just gonna go back for just maybe a little bit longer, maybe half an hour or so, just to see if I can whip up some extra cash for, you know, some spending money if we need. Alright, that'll do for now. Gotta turn these planks into logs. Logs into planks. There should be enough planks, give or take a few, to make it to 90 construction. We still got about 300k GP to play with if we need to before we have to go back to money making. And we've also got 6.2k oak logs left over if we need them as well. But now it's mahogany homes time. You know the drill. I'll probably see you each level up. And that's 87 construction. I decided to go ahead and grab the plank sack. I'm not sure if it's more or less efficient for me since I'm not using NPC contact or anything, but either way I might as well grab it. I probably won't grab Amy's saw though because I don't really see the need. Maybe for the collection log later on. And that's 88 construction, 89 construction. And here we are, at last, 90 construction in the books after we talk to Larry here. We'll take the tea as always, and there we go. We can now build the troll guard in the house. Ooh, and that's 1400 total, not bad at all. Here we are, left with 100k to our names because we are about to spend 1 mil gold on this thing, and I ended up having to buy some more lore runes and whatnot while we were doing that, so I lost some of the extra cash we had. Alright, let's build our troll boy. Troll guard, 1 mil to build. Let's go. And there he is. Looks like a troll, but it also looks like he's got a berserker's ring around his neck actually. Anyway, it's time to go put it on challenge mode. It's time to take on the troll guard. You know, I kind of expected him to be a bit more difficult, but there we go, troll down. It is about time. And that brings us to the end of what we can kill in combat bracket 91. And yes, I did go out of my way to build stuff in this room just to sit in a chair. You know, I've got to take a rest sometime. We've got 3 monsters left in this combat bracket, and they are the Torture, which is a pest control monster, the Barbarian Warlord, which is during the A Kingdom Divided quest, and the Parasite, Phosani's Nightmare variant, but we can't fight Phosani's Nightmare just yet, of course. And while editing this video, we were doing some Slayer as per the norm, and for our 200th task, I took a gamble and went to Kona so I could try to get some bonus Slayer points, and I managed to get lucky with a Jellies task, which was nice, so we can now get some extra points for our points stockpile. I was prepared to spend some points to skip to hope for a task, but you know, we actually got on the first try, so that worked out pretty well. We started the editing grind at these stats here on your left, and we ended up with these stats on your right. Little bit of a longer video because things took me so long, and you know, since I haven't posted in a while, might as well make it a little bit longer. I'm probably going to try to cut the episodes a bit shorter just so I can get them out either A, more quickly, and B, just, you know, so it's easier to watch. But if you do like it at this pace, just let me know because otherwise I won't change anything. Alright, thank you so very much for watching. As always, enjoy the teaser, and that's pretty much it for this, and I'll see you later.